Hair. Every human is born with hair. Some people have long hair, some people have no hair. Regardless, hair is something that indicates gender, social status, political and ideological views. But to what extent does hair define a character? And why do haircuts matter in manga? Now, a lot of characters look like absolute shit because of their haircuts. So what makes a good haircut? While people may say, well, as long as you like it, or a good haircut is subjective, they are wrong. There are specific characteristics that make a haircut look good. And they are shape, length and balance, and source. Now, reason 1 and 2 go hand in hand. Different lengths and styles fit different head shapes better. For example, a long rectangle face would look better with a layered haircut than straight long hair, since the length of the face would be exaggerated less. Or, a square face may look bad with a buzz cut because it doesn't complement the face shape but exaggerates it. But this isn't necessarily true for everyone, and sometimes people just pull off a haircut anyway. So that's why reason 3 is also important. The source. If a haircut has no source, it has no personality. So what are some examples of haircuts with source? Let's look at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This series has some really weird haircuts, and most people would probably be hate crimed for wearing them in real life. But in JoJo, the haircuts work because they fit within the bizarre nature of the characters, while also telling us about them. Josuke's haircut is similar to the types of haircuts that Japanese punks used to wear in the 80s and 90s, telling us that he is a punk. Giorno's hair is a reference to Michelangelo's statue of David, which represents independence and overcoming an overwhelming force, since David defeated the giant Goliath, just like Giorno wants to overthrow the mafia's drug empire. Jotaro's story is interesting because Araki just decided to fuse his hat with his hair, I guess. However, these examples are mostly just references, which are really well incorporated into the designs, but aren't actively used to convey the journey these characters go on. So let's look at some series which do this better, starting with Slam Dunk. The main character Hanamichi starts off the series hating basketball, but slowly learns to love the game and gradually starts improving his skills. His haircut is similar to Josuke's to show his rebellion against basketball and his hatred for the sport. But by the midpoint of the series, when his team loses one of their most important matches, Hanamichi accepts his love of the game, even crying when they lose. Hanamichi goes through a personal transformation which climaxes when he buzzes his hair after the loss of the game. His haircut symbolizes him shedding his old self and being reborn as a more dedicated and determined player. But this journey can also be shown in more subtle ways, such as in Flowers of Evil. The main character of Flowers of Evil starts off with a pretty average haircut to show us he's a pretty normal-ish guy. But he's slowly influenced by Nakamura, who first forces him to lean into his degeneracy until he starts wanting to act this way to please her. After Kasuga's pervy actions get exposed and him and Nakamura try to set themselves on fire, there's a time skip. After this time skip, Kasuga becomes withdrawn and quiet due to his guilt for the actions he did. During this time, his haircut is really similar to Nakamura's. This aspect subtly shows that Kasuga hasn't let go of Nakamura, and that part of him still wants to be the way he was with her. This also shows how Nakamura has left a part of herself on Kasuga that he may be hiding, but is still under the surface. When the characters talk things out and we see him again, as an adult with his old haircut, it shows that he's finally let go of Nakamura, and that he can live his life thinking for himself. I can give other examples, but why does any of this matter? Well, hair isn't just something that makes you look good or bad. It can be more than a fashion statement. There's a belief that hair holds memories, and sometimes we have to let those memories go. So when these characters cut their hair, it's not just about making statements or appearing like someone else. It's about letting go of who you were, your baggage, your stubbornness, your past, and starting fresh with new memories. Hair isn't just a design choice of these characters, it's an extension of themselves. That's why haircuts matter in manga.